Welcome and good morning, Santa Clarita Valley. This is your City Spotlight Show host, Perry Smith, News Director for KHTS AM 1220, and I'm in the studio with our local sheriff station captain, Paul Becker. Captain, welcome. Thank you for coming by.
Thank you. It's great to be here.
And here on the City Spotlight Show, we talk about all things city, and for about an hour, we'll just talk about what's happening in our valley. And in the city of Santa Clarita, we're going to talk to Chris Fall a little bit later on, and concerts in the park, which everybody's stoked about, and public safety, which is something that everybody cares about in our valley, I think. Captain, tell me a little bit about what's going on. We just recently worked on a budget, right? The city and the sheriff's station working together on that, and came out with some figures for the next year, right?
Yeah, the budget has been solidified, approved by the city council, and for the sheriff's department, as you know, the city of Santa Clarita contracts with the LA County Sheriff's Department for law enforcement services. That budget was approved to the tune of about $20 million. And so next fiscal year, we're already up and running.
And that's about on par with what it's been in the past, right? That's about, kind of the general.
Yes, it's a little bit higher because of some of the recent annexations, right. And we've increased our patrol levels in the Canyon Country area.
And what are some of the talking points, if you will, on this budget that's just come out? There's a new unit that's coming into the station, I understand, or that's in the works, in the planning as far as a mobile command center. And there's been some patrols that have been adjusted, as you said, with the annexation.
Yeah, and the mobile command post it's really an important tool that we need up here in the Santa Clarita Valley. And if you look back at our recent history, certainly with all the fires in the Santa Clarita Valley, the issues with the 5 freeway and a lot of those, we end up getting isolated sometimes up in Santa Clarita, and it's been very clear to me that we need to have a command post up here that will allow us to run our emergency services and sustain us for 4 to 5 days until I can get the appropriate resources from the basin, from Sheriff's Headquarters. So what we did is we went to the Supervisor Antonivich's office, the 5th District, the City of Santa Clarita, and the Sheriff's Department, and each of those entities committed to $100,000. So we have $300,000 to start building a significant command post that will really help us in the Santa Clarita Valley.
And where it seems like that might be helpful, just case in point, I know Palmdale Station did a lot of the evacuations for the powerhouse fire that was just recently, but I know that Sheriff Station units from out here were also helping out with that. Is that a situation where a mobile command unit might come in handy as far as, kind of directing traffic and just helping to calm the chaos, if you will?
Yeah, absolutely. The powerhouse fire actually started in Santa Clarita Sheriff's jurisdiction, the unincorporated area. However, it quickly moved into Palmdale Sheriff Station's jurisdiction, so they ended up dealing with that. And we did send a lot of our deputies up to assist in the powerhouse fire. But had that been something that was primarily in the Santa Clarita Valley, we certainly would have activated that command post, and we would have been running our command jointly with the LA County Fire Department. Where we would bring our rigs together with their rigs so we can handle evacuations as they're fighting the fire.
And at a recent function, there was a volunteer dinner for all the people that help out with the Sheriff's Station at the Child and Family Center, and I got to walk through one of those units. It was a pretty cool stuff. I mean, it's basically a mobile center, right? I mean, as far as you have everything in there you need.
Yeah, it has a section in it for the command structure to plan, to take a look at what we need to do. For instance, in fires, we can take a look at evacuation areas and plan tactically how we're going to go about removing people and animals and whatnot from certain areas. And it has all of our computers on board, our communication on board, televisions, and everything else. So it will be significant. It's going to take some time to build. I do have to go out to bid to get all that done. So I anticipate it's going to be probably 9 months or so before we actually see it in the Santa Clarita Valley. But we did bring a replica up, one that we're going to model it after, and that's the one you saw at the volunteers dinner.
Very cool. And then one of the other things in the budget, they were talking about changing around patrols or kind of the funding a little bit for patrols. Has that changed a little bit for the Canyon Country area, but with all those annexations?
Well, the city committed to stepping up significantly the patrols when we annexed the unincorporated area over on the east side of Canyon Country. So we are running two-man patrol units over there that we weren't before the annexation. So it's a significant cost, and it's been very helpful.
Yeah, and one of the things I was looking at the budget meeting when I was there, they were talking about there's been a significant crime reduction in that area as kind of a result of those patrols, right?
We've seen about a 30% reduction in crime in that area. Now, we like to take a full year analysis of that. That was a snapshot. So once we get to the full year, we'll take another look at it. And
we'll talk a little bit more about the crime numbers when we come back. We're just going to take a short break. This is the City of Santa Clarita Spotlight Show on your hometown station, AM 1220 KHTS.